دولة رئيس مجلس الوزراء الدكتور مصطفى مدبولي، معالي الدكتور عمرو طلعت وزير الاتصالات وتكنولوجيا المعلومات، الحضور الكرام. بداية أحب أن أرحب بالسادة ممثلي 29 شركة من كبريات شركات خدمات تكنولوجيا المعلومات العالمية، وأحب أن أشكرهم على ثقتهم واختيارهم الاستثمار في قطاع الاتصالات وتكنولوجيا المعلومات المصري، وعلى ثقتهم في قدرات شبابنا ومهاراتهم الذين هم ثروة مصر الحقيقية. وفي البداية أيضا أحب أن أستعرض محاور عمل هيئة تنمية صناعة تكنولوجيا المعلومات، والتي ترتكز على 3 ركائز. الركيزة الأولى وهي تنمية الأسواق، والتي نعمل فيها على جذب الاستثمارات الأجنبية وتصدير خدمات ومنتجات تكنولوجيا المعلومات من مصر إلى العالم، وتشجيع الشركات المصرية على تصدير منتجاتها وخدماتها. وقد بلغ صادرات مصر الرقمية في العام المالي المنصرم 4.9 مليار دولار، كما قمنا بتدريب حوالي 220 ألف شاب في العام المالي الحالي. المحور الثاني وهو رعاية الإبداع والشركات الناشئة، وينمو هذا القطاع نموا مطردا، حيث بلغت الاستثمارات في هذا القطاع في عام 2020 حوالي 190 مليون دولار، ثم في عام 2021 490 مليون دولار، ثم في العام الحالي حتى تاريخه حوالي 590 مليون دولار، كما تم احتضان حوالي 570 شركة ناشئة مقابل 273 شركة ناشئة في العام الماضي. والمحور الثالث هو تنظيم المعاملات الإلكترونية والتوقيع الإلكتروني، حيث بلغت عدد الشهادات المصدرة سنة 2020 حوالي 8000 شهادة، ثم قفزت إلى 55 ألف شهادة عام 2021، ثم 114 ألف شهادة حتى تاريخه من العام الحالي. كما نمت عدد المعاملات من 3 مليون معاملة عام 2020 إلى 153 معاملة عام 2021، ثم إلى 355 مليون معاملة في هذا العام حتى تاريخه. ومن هذا يتضح أننا نعمل على تنمية اقتصاد المعرفة، حيث أنه هو الاقتصاد عالي القيمة، والذي يعمل على تصدير خدمات تكنولوجيا المعلومات العالية القيمة، وهي أولوية قصوى في سياسة وزارة الاتصالات وتكنولوجيا المعلومات. ولذلك قامت الهيئة بإعداد استراتيجية متخصصة في تنمية صناعة التعهيد، وهذه الاستراتيجية ل5 سنوات من عام 2022 إلى عام 2026. وهذه المدخلات لهذه الاستراتيجية بناء على توجيهات معالي الوزير كانت العمل على خلق فرص عمالة كثيفة، وأيضا خلق فرص عمل متميزة عالية القيمة تتدرج حتى نبلغ الذروة في التصميم الإلكتروني والبرمجيات المدمجة. ولذلك احنا قمنا بتحليل في هذه الدراسة بالتعاون مع أحد كبريات بيوت الخبرة في العالم عنصري الطلب والعرض، وحيث أن عنصر الطلب كان الدول التي لديها أكثر طلب في خدمات تكنولوجيا المعلومات والتقنيات التي عليها الطلب في خلال ال5 سنين القادمة. وكذلك درسنا العرض الذي يتمثل في مهارات شبابنا، وحددنا الفجوات الموجودة في ال5 سنين القادمة، وبناء عليه قمنا بتصميم برنامج تدريبي لتنمية مهارات هؤلاء الشباب. وهذه الدراسة قامت أيضا على 3 محاور. المحور الأول هو الترويج والتسويق عالميا لمصر، وكذلك محليا لفرص العمل في مجال التعهيد. وفي هذا قمنا بتطوير علاقات مع المستثمرين والمحللين الدوليين مصدري النشرات الدورية في سوق التعهيد، والذين يروجوا لمقاصد التعهيد عالميا. كذلك قمنا بمساعدة الشركات في إعداد دراسات الجدوى عن مصر وعن السوق المصري، كما شاركنا في العديد من الفعاليات العالمية التي
events that are interested in the outsourcing market. We also contracted with an international think tank in the field of digital marketing to market Egypt internationally, and we had a deal with a local think tank for the local outsourcing industry among the Egyptian youth. The second theme is related to the ecosystem in uh, and we studied the total cost of investments in Egypt compared to other 10 countries in the same field. Therefore, we designed the Hawafis or incentives program that attracts more investments to Egypt and guarantees that the cost in Egypt is always internationally competitive. And also we had international periodic meetings with CEOs in or quarterly to listen to their problems, solve them, and inform them of the new programs that we launch that so that they can benefit from them. We also held many networking meetings at universities in order to promote the outsourcing markets. We meet with the universities in order to focus on this. The third theme is the skill development, because without skills, no investment will be available in Egypt. So a basic one is skill development. That's why we second the second initiative of our future is digital, after enhancing it with international market demands in the fields of outsourcing in the coming 5 years. And we also launched programs to teach youth English, French, German, as well as soft skills such as communication skills, teamwork, leadership, etc. And this required us to restructure our organization so that we can find the cadres that are able to deal with this strategy and with the international companies. And we actually have a very distinguished team that deals with investing companies in Egypt. We have clients, so they're able to communicate with them and to develop their investments and attract more. During implementation, it was also important to follow up. That's why we periodically met with the minister for follow-up, at least one every fortnight, in order to check results. We survey companies in order to make sure that the functions and employment are implemented. What we are seeing today is the wrapping of the first year of implementing this strategy, and the results testified that there is a true chance for Egypt, especially among the international changes, especially COVID-19, that led to the acceleration of digital transformation 10 times more than before, or in the current international status quo that prompted many companies to consider diversifying the sources of investment and their destinations. And this gives an increasing chance for Egypt in the field of outsourcing. Finally, I would like to thank His Excellency Dr. Talat for his sponsoring of this strategy and his directives. I would also like to thank the distinguished teamwork in the ETIDA for their incessant work and teamwork spirits. Thank you.
All the thanks for Engineer Amr Mahfouz, the Executive Director for ETITA, for his kind speech. One of the most distinguished goals of Egyptian digital goals of outsourcing is doubling the outcome and increasing the economy of knowledge in order to coordinate with all efforts exerted by the ITC Ministry to build a modern country that invests in its human resources and adopts technological advancements in order to push our economic growth wheel forward and to move on to a totally digital society and putting Egypt on the international map of ITC. Now we call for Dr. Amr Talat, Minister of ITC, to give his word or speech. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, Your Excellency Dr. Mustafa Madbouly, Prime Minister, Excellencies, Ministers, Excellencies, Ambassadors, I would like to welcome you in the Egypt Innovation Center in Al Sultan Hussein Palace, and I would like to take some time to explain quickly on the strategy of the ITC Ministry within the plan of Egypt to build digital Egypt. Our strategy is aiming three main pillars. The first is to provide to our citizens easy governmental services in various ways that is fit to all citizens and would enable us to govern the abilities of the government and its performance for the good of our citizens. The second pillar of the strategy is the services related to information technology and telecommunication, to provide telecommunication services on a high level, on a high caliber of quality and stability. And the third pillar that I would like, after your permission, to explain, which is providing employment opportunities in ITC sector, because for a big sector of our youth, which have different backgrounds, and we always target them for their abilities, and therefore we have laid down a strategy for human development and building capabilities and digital capacities for a huge sector of the Egyptian youth. And this strategy is based upon two main axes: the training axis and the innovation, taking care of innovation and providing good environment for innovation. When I start with the training access, because it's more related on what we are talking about today, since the Egyptian government started laying down a methodology in building capacities and of the Egyptian human being, we needed to launch a matrix that verifies and extends to various training initiatives and increasing digital capabilities. But before we would spread and launch our matrix of initiatives, we needed to lay down a strategy to have in order to have a coordination between all initiatives, to have all its goals always coordinating to reach the goal that I have been explaining, which is creating new jobs and new employment opportunities in ITC sector. So we have laid down a strategy with three main pillars. The first pillar was the variation and specialization. We always have initiatives in specializations, which are the most important and the most asked for in the in the business market, not only in Egypt but the international market as well. We have initiatives in programming, in building compact programs, building electronic circuits, and those are very important in car industries and electronic industries. We have also initiatives in building applications and forums, digital forums, and also we have training sessions in order to test these programs and be assured about its effectiveness. We also have artificial intelligence and programs. AI needs huge data, so we have launched initiatives on training a sector of our youth in segregating data in order to be used in AI initiatives. Also the initiatives on cybersecurity, digital marketing, and other specializations. Our goal is just to try to find specializations fits all sectors of our youth with their different academic background, educational background, and professional background. The second pillar in this strategy that or in these pillars that is governing the strategy of capacity building was a complete design methodology. This methodology was the governing framework for all the initiatives launched by ITC Ministry. The first thing is inclusion. All the initiatives need to be inclusive to reach all the youth in all Egypt. Everybody, every single one of those youths, wherever he is living, would have a chance to get this training. And also the inclusion from on all sectors as well. We have the traditional training systems. We have digital training systems for anybody who needs to work and study at the same time. And also there is initiatives that mixes between the two methodologies, the traditional and the digital. The main goal is to find adequate training system for all sectors of our society. The third point that we are very proud of it, which is that more than 40% of the beneficiaries of the initiatives that we are launching are from the are females. That's why we are encouraging more and more women to come and join our initiatives. Finally, we have also merged the people with special needs. All the platforms that have training curriculum is prepared to handle people with special needs in order to merge them and with our initiatives and give them the ability to work and go on with their life. The third axis is the quality. In order to assure quality for this training initiatives, by the training ways and the curriculums, the subjects, we always look forward in holding partnerships with international prestigious companies and universities in the subjects that we provide training in order to assure the quality and the completeness of those systems, either from the training ways or from the curriculum. And the specialization is the third point. We always go on the specializations that has the most needs and also the experience. We have the technical training in the international and national companies that work in ITC section in Egypt. They host our youth so that they can have practical experience that would mix with the technical training that they are getting from those initiatives. And then for the personal traits and teamwork and setting priorities, and also, as I mentioned before, the personal traits that is needed in the work market right now, next to the technical abilities. Our goal is to build professionals, complete professionals that can compete in the market effectively and efficiently. The third pillar is a complete training path that would fit all the sections of our youth, starting from training initiatives for the students in the prep school and the secondary school. We have schools that starts from the first year of secondary school. We have schools that have a lot of training and education initiatives, professional training and education for who wanted to join this market after finishing the school. We have another group of initiatives for the graduates of the non-specialized, non-ITC specialized colleges who need to have a career shift to ITC and technology. we have a lot of initiatives which has deep professional professions for deep professional initiatives for the Faculty of Engineering and the IT faculty graduates. We have specialized academic we have specialized academic studies through Egypt Digital University, the first of its kind in Africa. So we are, our goal is to allow a training opportunity for all the sectors of our youth with different backgrounds in all Egypt. As I have tried to explain, we are very proud with our international stakeholders that we are with them in providing in this initiatives. We have a lot of high caliber universities in all the countries of the world, advanced world. We have we coordinate with them and cooperate with them in our training phase, and we have a lot of pioneering international companies in ITC sector. We also cooperate with them in our training initiatives. We are very proud that the Egyptian government, when the Egyptian government started this program or this strategy 4 years ago in 2018-2019, our budget for training was 50 million pounds, and we were targeting 4,000 trainees a year. Now, in our fiscal year, our training budget is 1.3 billion pounds, with a 26 times increase than 4 years ago, and the number of 3Ds that we are targeting is 225 trainer per year, but with a 56 folds than it was 4 years ago. We have started this strategy. We had more than a goal that we aimed to achieve. The first goal was to have a generation specialized in all ITC sectors that can apply digital transformation projects of the Egyptian government. And this matrix of digital transformation projects is accelerating and increasing in all the ministries and governmental entities, because this is the heading of the state, that we would digitalize all our services that is provided for the citizens. But we had another goals. The second goal that we were targeting with the success in the increase in capacity building and the training, which is going into exporting through freelancers. We have started of encouraging a lot of our youth in order to join the freelancing sector to export the digital services, and also to work in other markets while they live in Egypt, and the numbers is increasing dramatically, and the export level they are achieving is growing dramatically as well. This what led to the third phase that we are talking about now in this activity today, which is moving from exporting individually into structural exporting and collective exporting, and to have an increase in the centers that is held by international companies in Egypt that were already there, but it is expanding and growing, and the activities is varying and increasing as well. I think that the boost activities are very important, and as I have mentioned, when we are moving from individual digital exporting into collective digital exporting. We are targeting in this matrix or in this system all the digital services and the digital exporters that can be exported outside of Egypt, which is the company work activities, starting from call centers, text centers, human resources, and all other administrative sectors, which is outsourcing from companies to companies. We also aim to export IT services by establishing websites or other systems. Also, all what is related into research R&D, research and development, either compacted programs, electronic design, or anything that goes under the umbrella of R&D. Today, His Excellency the Prime Minister is going to honor us by, by the presence on the signing of an 21 international companies in Egypt that have 25 outsourcing centers. They have established it previously, and now we are signing agreements in order to increase and enlarge this outsourcing centers in order to increase its abilities in exporting the services and the work opportunities or job opportunities and they produce. And we are all going to sign with 8 pioneering companies, international companies, that they will establish 10 new outsourcing centers in Egypt. And I can see in the two sectors two positive things. The first sector, it is a company that previously took a decision to establish outsourcing centers in Egypt, and because of the development plans and the training plans that is going faster and faster, and it produced distinguished cadres and professionals. It allowed them to increase their centers here in Egypt. And the other part is companies that have seen what we have done, and there is a lot of experienced personnel and professionals in Egypt that it attracted them to the Egyptian market to establish the outsourcing center. The third part that I would like to point to, which is the nationalities of those 29 companies. They are the nationals of 11 different countries, 11 countries that have the main headquarters for these 29 companies. And as you can see, they are from the most advanced company in ITC sector. And even though they saw in the Egyptian market that what would attract them to build outsourcing sectors in Egypt and the centers in Egypt, which stipulates, which says that that ITC's market in Egypt is pulling is a pull sector right now. It is a very distinguished sector that pulls companies in order to establish their centers, as their outsourcing centers in our market. With God's willing, these centers are going to provide job opportunities, which is going to increase until it reaches at least 34,000 job opportunities by 2025. This human resources or the jobs would provide the digital exports that would reach, which is not less that extra $1 billion yearly from digital exports. I would go quickly to the second pillar in the strategy of building capabilities, which is fostering innovation. Fostering innovation is building upon encouraging a lot of entrepreneurs and encourage a sector of our youth to establish projects and establish companies. We started going on the same path with cooperation with international companies and universities that have experience in such a profession, and we have designated certain path for the growth of the companies to 6 different points, and we have contracted with these universities and companies in order to cooperate with them in every section according to their specialization and capabilities in order to benefit from what is best what's best of what every company can offer. We had a strategy to foster entrepreneurship and build innovative capabilities, and we started as well in establishing a Digital Egypt Innovation Center. We had 3 sections in Cairo, Burj Al Arab, and Asyut. And in July we have inaugurated 8 more new centers. This palace that we are here, the palace of Sultan Hussein Kamel, is one of them, and we are now establishing 12 new centers in 12 new governorates that is going to start working by the first half of the coming years. And afterwards comes the third section, the third phase, which is 7 centers in 7 governorates. That's why we would like to have incubators in all the governorates, and we would have 30 centers with 5 billion pounds as investment cost. And you can see that we have pictures over here and photos for those centers, either for the actually working or the under construction, and it will be inaugurated in the first half or the first half of the coming year. Allow me to go to the second pillar in the strategy, which is communication services that we always look forward in enhancing and providing it in a professional way, effective way, and to spread it in all the on all the state. The plan is started by the end of 2018 in order to support and develop the landline internet network, and we had a budget of 7 billion pounds, and we had a cost of more than 60 billion pounds till now, and we are moving to the third phase till now. And all the government entities are being linked right now with optic fiber networks in order to exchange data between them effectively, because it's considered the spine of the digital government. 33,000 government entities would be linked together. We have finished 20,000 of them, and it has a cost of 7 billion pounds. And also the biggest projects in the history of the Egyptian development, which is Haya Karima, or adequate life, which we through it look forward in linking all the houses in the Egyptian villages with fiber optics. 3.5 million houses inhabited by 58 million Egyptians are going to have internet, high-speed internet. What I needed to focus upon in this, that when the Egyptian government started laying down a project in order to provide the infrastructure and the services that provide adequate life for the Egyptian citizen, we did not have a short look on sanitization and drinking water, electricity only, but the Egyptian government sees that high-speed internet is a crucial service to provide the adequate life for our citizens, which confirms and affirms the Egyptian government vision of the importance of digitalization and the technology for more development in all the sectors of the state, not only in telecommunication. This infrastructure, technological information infrastructure, have a positive effect in the outsourcing file that we are talking about today, because the international companies cannot have outsourcing centers in here in Egypt without making sure that there is a digital infrastructure that can handle the amount of the work they are planning without any interruptions or stoppage. And thanks to God, during the pandemic years, the 2 years of the pandemic, a lot of companies started going to work from home policy, and our digital infrastructure handled effectively with a total effectiveness all the workloads that have been doubled by the beginning of the pandemic. Quickly, I would go to the third pillar, which is the governed and easy service, governmental service. In the previous July, His Excellency the President inaugurated the Egypt Digital Platform, and it had 130 services. Now it have 165 totally digitalized services that are available for our citizens, with for all our citizens in all sectors. This services has been automated with the cooperation of the ministries providing those services. So the pillar of these services is the ministry providing, and now we're going to the second phase of building digital Egypt, which is the services that is built upon the citizen. And we have started a big project, or a mega project, that has 15 service pillars that have the matrix of homogeneous services. We have a pillar for all social service, or social security, or education, or digital justice. Those are pillars that are built upon the citizen, not on the entity. And we have started with 4 main pillars, and with God's willing, we are going to continue with the 15 pillars in the coming years, with 50 billion pounds courses. I am going to talk about quick indicators of the IT sector reflects the IT sector performance in Egypt. And in the last 4 years, the ITC sector is growing with percentages between 15 to 17%. It is the highest growing sector in all the state. And now in the cabinet, Her Excellency Minister of Planning viewed the first quarter of the current fiscal year, and the ITC sector is on the top of the growth rate with 16.7%, with an increase over the last quarter of the last fiscal year. And in the last June, in the ITC ministry, and I was honored to see that Egypt have jumped from the 40th place into the first place in Africa. And I would like to talk about another indicator today. I am honored about it, which is the readiness of the digital government, which comes by the World Bank. Egypt was in sector C, between the most companies, most states have ready digital government. In 2020, the World Bank, in his report, Egypt was designated in B sector. And as for 2022, Egypt is on the A sector in within the highest 20 countries in the world on the indicator of the readiness of the digital government. Egypt would be leading as well, I hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Minister of CIT, for this rich review and speech. All these endeavors to strengthen Egypt's leadership in outsourcing and foreign investment of high value wouldn't have been translated into reality without full support by the Egyptian government, who is always keen to provide attractive ecosystem and incorporating the private sector in development and building the Egyptian citizen and providing environment for the growth of CIT and digital transformation for building a competitive and strong economy. Now we ask His Excellency the Prime Minister Dr. Madbouly to give his speech. Floor is yours, sir. In the name of Allah, Your Excellency Minister of CIT Dr. Amr Talat, Your Excellency Ambassadors, officials and representatives of foreign companies, dear distinguished guests. I'm glad to be with you this evening in this distinguished and kind gathering of IT and providers of transactions and outsourcing that are keen on pumping new investment in this vital industry, either through being present for the first time in the Egyptian market or expanding their present transactions and exporting their services to more than 100 countries worldwide out of Egypt. I'm also glad that our meeting this evening this innovative in this wonderful and smart place of Sultan Hussein Palace, which is a way of sponsoring and strengthening entrepreneurship. What we are witnessing tonight is due to efforts exerted by the Egyptian state and its commitment to develop macroeconomic policies to facilitate foreign investment in all its forms, as well as activating constructive partnerships, PP. And out of Egypt, Egyptian government, that's the volume of investment is one of the Egyptian government has adopted an inclusive approach for a developed investment by facilitating decisions and foreign investment enhancements. In the light of international reports that say that it is expected that Egypt would realize good growth rates, CIT sector is one of the most important, vital ones that are promoting this growth, and a basic pillar for realizing the state's strategy of digital transformation. The government has been keen to provide a supportive environment for the growth of CIT through approaching some policies related to the resolutions of the Supreme Council of Digital Society, as well as governing the digital environment that strikes a required balance between protecting the privacy of digital data of citizens and activating companies to invest. We are investing also in developing the infrastructure by 100 billion Egyptian pounds for the first and second phases of the internet efficiency, and 60 billion Egyptian pounds to spread the high-speed internet in the Egyptian villages within the 3 phases of a Decent Life initiative. We also started to establish the knowledge hub in the new capital of Egypt to be home for digital innovation and an integrated society for IT, in which there will be an environment that attracts investments in CIT and creating an integrated system for high-tech industries, especially those related to electronic designing and compact software, as well as providing software related to building digital capacities, enhancing R&D in advanced technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to what has been said, the Egyptian government is taking every necessary measure to support the young investors, startups, and entrepreneurs, as directives of His Excellency President to allow to open virtual companies without need for a real or inside venue, as well as reducing the minimum of capital of the one-person company to be only 1,000 Egyptian pounds instead of 50,000, within the framework of developing an economic plan for the country, as well as proposing policies to increase competitiveness and the flexibility of Egyptian economy. The Egyptian 2022 economic conference that led to a group of recommendations. Some of them are related to the development of the CIT, among which is activating R&D and launching a training program for building the capacities of cadres that are qualified and who have high quality under the supervision of experts in the industry, as well as establishing a special economic zone for IT and adopting the mechanism of the white list for the registration of working companies. It's decided that this will be in the new administrative knowledge hub. The recommendations also included domesticating the IT electronic solutions supply of finance, increasing export incentives, increasing the high-tech exports, as well as modifying the present legislations to cope with the rapid technological developments and building on the efforts in the field of developing the infrastructure. Your dear distinguished guests, the cooperation agreements that will be signed this evening is an affirmation of the characteristic of the CIT sector in Egypt, of investments opportunities in the field of the high growth rates during the last 4 years. They are also an emphasis on the competitive Egypt enjoys, that's qualified it to be the destination of international companies working in the fields of and outsourcing, as well as offshore services, within the framework of efforts to attract more investments and maximizing value and revenue and doubling the exports of this kind of services, the way that will increase the sources of Egyptian national economy of our currency. Out of Egypt's belief that CIT industry is the industry of minds and that the Egyptian young are Egypt's true wealth, we are working on maximizing the benefits of the potentials availed by this industry in creating intensive job opportunities for you with high value, as we also trust the potentials of our youth and the skills they enjoy that enable them to present their IT services professionally, efficiently, and we depend on them in exporting the offshore services for the clients of international companies in the world. Out of this, the Egyptian government spares no effort to avail all potentials for our young people to enable them to obtain the knowledge, the tools of IT in order to prepare and develop specialized technology IT cadres that lead the digital transformation and lead the region and the world. Out of our realization of the effects of the fourth industrial revolution and its expected effect on the work market, we were keen on graduating youth who can match the needs of or meet the needs of such markets which is the development of the educational system and building the potentials and capacities of youth in the technical specializations according to international standards in training, in collaboration with major international companies, as well as supporting the activating activities on entrepreneurship. Distinguished guests, to conclude, I would like to confirm that the state is opening its arms to the for new investments that add value and benefit both parties, and would like to express my gladness for this big number of agreements with international 29 companies of all nationalities, and the fruit of these agreements, such as creating more than 34,000 job opportunities for Egyptian youth from different governorates to serve international markets at an export value of $1 billion per annum. I hope that there will be a short meeting through which we can announce the expansion of entrepreneurship and provide more job opportunities for our youth. Thank you all.
شغالة اهو. انا عارف المدير قال لي ده مش شغال.
الميكروفون الهوا ده اسمع كده.
سامعني؟ الو الو الو.
الميكروفون الهوا.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouly. Now we ask Dr. Mustafa Madbouly and Excellency Minister of CIT, Dr. Amr Talat, and representatives of international companies to move to the room of agreement signing inside Sultan Hussein Palace. The invitees are kindly requested to remain, and they can watch the signing ceremony via the live via the screen. Thank you.
نور الهوا يا دكتور.
الله ينور عليك. في
ده
هوا ورا؟
ميكروفون الهوا، ده ميكروفون الهوا.
يبقى نايت تي في؟
ايه اعتقد يعني ده ميكروفون هوا.
ماهر جه قال لي ده مش شغال، ترجمتك مش واصله، احنا دلوقتي الكلمه جاي يقول لي لا دي شغاله زي الفل.
بس هو
international companies working in the fields of outsourcing, which will provide 34 new job opportunities at and exports of 1 billion Egyptian pounds per annum.
Information Technology Industry Development Agency and 29 global firms working in the offshoring industry. Those agreements will generate 34,000 job opportunities, adding new digital experts worth $1 billion annually. والآن نشهد توقيع اتفاقيات بين هيئة تنمية صناعة تكنولوجيا المعلومات إيتيدا وشركة أمازون كابجيميني أتوس أدفانسز. And now we're witnessing the signing of agreements between the Information Technology Industry Development Agency and Amazon Capgemini Atos Advances.
رجعت تاني.
هم كانوا الاشخاص بيلموه.
شفت ان قلت خلاص باشا ما هو بيكمل جوه بره.
مش هوا ليه بقى؟
ليه؟ ما لهمش هوا ليه صحيح؟ اشمعنى الهوا عليا انا؟
على هدى
على هدى.
متآمر.
هاتوا لي وزير التعليم.
احكي له حكايه رضا حجازي.
والآن نشهد توقيع اتفاقيات بين هيئة تنمية صناعة تكنولوجيا المعلومات إيتيدا وشركة كروس وركرز Concentrics Dell Technologies Evolvis. And now we're witnessing the signing of agreements between the Information Technology Industry Development Agency and Cross Workers Concentrics Dell Technologies Evolvis.
عايز اقول لحضرتك ان احنا اول كول سنتر شغل كول سنترز في مصر فلت شركات في الهند. فلت شركات في الهند.
احنا بنقول اكشن ايشن
وطلع ان المصري ياخد اقل من الهندي.
وبعدين انت نفس هي الايه الاول زي نفس التايم نفس التايم.
وبعدين حضرتك
يعني انت بينك وبين لندن اللي هي ابعد نقطه او ساعتين، الهند عكس.
تكلفة التشغيل طلعت في مصر ارخص.
معقول.
والمصري طلع بياخد اقل من الهندي.
انت الهند ده كان اقل اجره في العالم. هو الباكستاني اللي ما جايبش.
اصل هو لما بيحسبه هو بيديك كام اللي هو فلوس، يعني مثلا بيديك موظف بيديله 9000 جنيه في الشهر. هو تقريبا الهندي كان بياخد حوالي ما يوازي 15 16. فانت مع يعني انت تجيب شاب لسه متخرج شغال كل انت بتديله 9000 جنيه فرحان جدا.
هو برضه الديفاليويشن اللي اسمه ايه كمان لا
اتفاقيات بين هيئة تنمية صناعة تكنولوجيا المعلومات إيتيدا
الميرا انا بتاخد يعني كام 9 بعد 12 بس هو ما كانش اي حاجه.
And now we announce the signing of agreements between the Information Technology Industry Development Agency and
اقل برايس اندكس اللي هو تكلفة المعيشة في العالم. هم بيحسبوا بالدولار، يعني الدولار يعمل لك ايه في القناة.
cost me compared to the income.
لا هم بقى بيعملوها بالدولار يعني. اعتقد ان هانوي ارخص من اللي هي بتاعت فيتنام، او هانوي ارخص واحدة.
فيتنام دي فيتنام دي عقدت. فيتنام دي تقريبا فيها صناعة اكسسوارات الكمبيوتر
وفيها الأدوات الرياضية، الكتاشي بتاع الأديداس والحاجات دي ونايكي والحاجات دي كلها ميد ان فيتنام.
اسمها ايه اللي انا فاكرها من محمد نور ما بحبش كراكس. فيتنام بالانجليزي مش فيتنام بس. العالمين جديدة نفس مساحة سنغافورة بالظبط. نفس المكان نفس خد دي
والآن مع توقيع اتفاقيات بين هيئة تنمية صناعة تكنولوجيا المعلومات إيتيدا وديابار مارتل مايكروسوفت مايكرووايز. And now we're witnessing the signing of agreements between the Information Technology Industry Development Agency and Diapar, Modular, Microsoft, and Microsoft.
طبعا.
انت بتتكلم النهارده في مليار دولار اجمالي صادرات سوفت وير. هو ممكن يزيد 100 مليار دولار في العالمية الجزيرة، و100 مليار دولار في عاصمة الألف، و100 مليار دولار كمان في منطقة قناة السويس. اكسبيرينس يعني دي مثلا منطقة قناة السويس دي دولار
استغلالها مثلا كام سنة؟
هيجيب في السنة 100 مليار دولار، وهو هيطلع يجي تريليون دولار.
شركة مواني دبي اللي واخدة مننا العين السخنة ومننا معرفش يعني عايز اقول لحضرتك ان الفلوس اللي دفعتها الحق مقابل حق استغلال المواني دي يعني تقريبا 10 اضعاف او 12 ضعف اللي احنا كنا دفعناه من المينا، وهي مشغلاها نار واكيد بتكسب بعد اللي بتديهولنا 100 مرة.
قناة السويس ايه اللي نجح؟
والآن نشر توقيات التقنيات بين هيئة تنمية صناعة التكنولوجيا المعلومات الجديدة
مصر
مع
تقدم
agreement
فلوس
has been
وخلاص
looked at PwC SciTech, and now we're witnessing the signing of agreements between the Information Technology Industry Development Agency and hospital Int'l PwC SciTech.
نشتغل بقى نتفرج على التلفزيون، مراكز في الخدمات، البيت فراغ لغاية ما تطلع الثمرة. بينما التاني بقى شوف السوق بيجيب عمل في سوق مصر ده التاجر شاطر، شوف محل الطعمية هنا شوف محل الطعمية ده بيبيع لك السندوتش النهارده فيه 3 جنيه ولا 4 جنيه، والتاني بيبيع لك سندوتش ب 513 جنيه. كل ده اللي بيروح للسوق اللي بيبيع 4 أضعاف عشان هو قادر عنده خاطر مش عندنا. يعني نفسي كده المرور ده احنا دايما بنقول فيه بالست ان شاء الله عليه. تعالي هاتوا الناس اللي كانوا ماسكين الجروب عندي وطلعوا معاش يجوا ينزلوا لي في قرار فرق كده مثلا خلاص، لان اصل هناك مفيش نمله تعرف تفهم في
بالإضافة مفيش حد بيستخدم الاقتصاد الطبيعي.
هو مفيش ما انتش شايف رقم المدير في المدرسين. انت طول ما انت ماشي العدد الجيش اللي احنا بنشوفه في الشارع ده مش موجود هنا. احنا هنا بيبقى فيه تكلم يشوهوا البشر زي ايه مثلا؟ بنجيب صورة لوجهات العمر في وسط البلد تقول بجري بس الناس سايبة الرصيف ومش على الشارع.
والآن مع توقيع اتفاقيات بين هيئة تنمية صناعة التكنولوجيا المعلومات الجديدة وSciTech Sutherland Tech Drug Industry, and now we're witnessing the signing of agreements between the Information Technology Industry Development Agency (ITIDA) and SciTech Sutherland Tech Drug Limited.
ساذرلاند دي شركة كول سنتر اوبريتور مشهورة فاتحين في مصر بقالهم من فترة، هي والشركة اسمها ماجوريال وكذا شركة من دول يعني شركات كول سنترز.
في شركة إيطالية عمالة تستحيل على الواد المحلي وعايز 3 ولاد سوريان محمد جمال وبنت، بس 2 منهم راح يتكلم عندهم 6 سنين 7 سنين وتعلموا في البلد ورجعوا شغالين في السياحة الجديدة، صاحب واحد تاني أستاذ شغالين التاني شغالين في شرم الشيخ، والشركة عمالة كل شوية تتصل بيهم.
لا نور يا دكتور.
وعليك حبيبي وعليك يا عمال وعليك ربنا يبارك فيك يا رب وعليك ربنا يخليك. عمال تستحيل 15 الأولاد 10 وصلت معاك
كول سنتر الإيطالي بيوصل 18.
تقول له خد معاك هتديله سماعات كده مش حاجة هتشتغل يعيش يومك الوقت
والآن نشهد توقيع اتفاقيات بين هيئة تنمية صناعة التكنولوجيا المعلومات الجديدة وشركة الغريب للتليفون الذكي وويب هاوس. And now we're witnessing the signing of agreements between the Information Technology Industry Development Agency and Valeo Vodafone Intelligent Solutions Voice and Web Hub.
في شباب عمل شغل جامد قوي الصراحة، في شباب عمل شغل جامد قوي في المنتجعات السياحية.
أنا أعرف واحد في بورتو هناك في بورتو شرم هناك اسمه بحر، ده اللي ماسك بورتو شرم في كل الرحلات اللي ممكن تعملها في شرم الشيخ، وبيجيب لك أسعار خرافية. يعني هناك في شرم الشيخ في بيت شو بس التذاكر بتاعته صعبة أوي. وده احنا ممكن دولفين شو، بس رحت البحر قلت له بحر انا عايز اروح الدولفين شو.
وبنشكر حضراتكم جميعا، ودي كانت نهاية تغطية الاتفاقيات بنهاية تنمية صناعة تكنولوجيا المعلومات إيتيدا وعدد من الشركات العالمية.
بس كده خلاص الناس تمشي. عايز اقول لحضرتك جبتها لي التذكرة كانت ب 300 وجبت التذكرة ب 200.
الطيران؟
ايه؟
الطيران؟
لا الدولفين شو ده
الدولفين شو
كان ب 300 وجاب لي ب 200، والطفل حسبوا لي نص تذكرة، يعني هم ما بيحسبوش نص تذكرة، حسبوا لي نص تذكرة. ورحت هو كان قلت لي ايصال كده وانا بيجيبوا فلوس فيه، وانا داخل على الدولفين شو سلمتهم قال لي تبع بحر، قلت له اه.
ايوه.
مش هتروح
البحر
بحر
ده
كده
بتهيألي اشتغلت معاه.
ايه؟
البحر ده انا بتهيألي استعنت بيه يعني.
ممكن والله لازم تروح راس محمد دلوقتي، تروح طيران دلوقتي.
الواد عمرو جاب لي مأذون تذكرة طيران القاهرة، خلي بالك القاهرة ميلان